Startling statistics from the National Rural Health Association. Farmers face a 3.5 times higher risk of suicide compared to the general population. In response, Georgia Farm Bureau, American Farm Bureau, and others are taking action to shed light on the mental health challenges that are plaguing the ag industry. But it doesn't stop there. So are farmers like Sumter County cattleman Matt Berry. Recently, the Monitor traveled to Matt's farm to help us better understand the efforts being made to address this pressing issue and provide support where it's most needed. Matt, I've heard so many people tie your name to the stress on the farm and mental health challenges.
Yes.
How did you become such an interested party and an advocate for mental health with farmers?
Well, growing up, my mom and daddy didn't farm. It skipped a generation with my parents. My family has farmed for years. The farm we own on the other side of America's great-granddaddy bought it in 1928 was when he bought it finally out, right? And so I understood what mental health was through my father, who suffered from PTSD, my mother who suffered from some depression through the years, not knowing how to deal with his stuff going on, and his was related to being in the service during Vietnam era, and we didn't know what it was. And I've watched people over the years in farming go through things. I personally have suffered from issues over the years that have had, you name it, I've seen it.
Tell me about your life experiences when it comes to this. What kind of impact did it have on you with your mental health?
Well, through the years, I started from, I don't want to say nothing because that sounds like I'm going, whoo, it's me, but I started from scratch, let's put it that way, where I sharecropped into it with different producers in the industry. They come alongside me. My daddy died when I was 13, so agriculture come alongside me with the producers, women and men in the industry, and said, hey, we want to help you get started, because I've had an interest in it. My daddy, that's what we did growing up, was help whoever, whenever, and however. It was a community, and somehow in farming we've got away from that community and become so isolated in its size of operations and what we do in a day-to-day life. And that, I think, I'm not a professional, but I think that contributes to some of this that we're suffering from now, is a lack of unity. Tell me, on a weekly basis, monthly basis, how often does signs of stress crop up in Matt, for instance, and then how do you help him cope with those kinds of things?
I would say daily, if I'm being honest. Before in our marriage, I don't think that he showed me that stress. He tried to hide it, because most farmers do want to be strong for their families. They know that they're the provider for the family. They're supposed to be the head of the household. They're not supposed to let anything get them down, and they're not supposed to show it. I think a lot of them are ashamed. They think that they're showing weakness when they do that. But when he finally let me in, let me know his story, I can see it every day. One little phone call is all it takes, and we try to talk throughout the day. We send each other text messages, little funny memes that I think that he'll, find funny, maybe bring a little bit of joy to a stressful day. But I know by that phone call, is he having a good day? Is he having a bad day? What do I need to do when I get home? And I know that I've nonchalantly asked how he's doing when he gets home at the end of the day. You're not really paying attention. You're in there busy. You're trying to cook supper, you're trying to clean up, you've got things to do as well. But I can tell when I need to just sit down and listen. And sometimes that's all he needs. You just have to keep it simple.
What do you think caused this isolation you talk about? Is it technology today and we've become so removed because of that, or is it other things that are going on in society?
A little bit of both, I believe. We're size of operations. Years ago, if you were 1,000 acres, you're probably large. Now it's multi-thousand acres. So you run from can to can, you run from, you hear people say I'm running 24 hours a day. They truly are. You know, you might be in the field working, running the tractor all day and then irrigating all night. You get cat naps all summer. With cattle, they eat 365 days a year. We're having to feed them or manage them every day of the year. So size of operations probably played a part in that. The lack of workforce, I would imagine. You know, there's not many people that want to come to the farm and work now. And that's unfortunate because there's not a better life in the world than this. And if you ever get anybody to the farm, that's what they'll say is, man, this is great. This is awesome. How do you get to do this every day? Well, you can do it too. It's just a matter of being committed to what we do.